So from here, this is very simple. We're just going to go ahead and punch out all the holes. So I think what we may do is go fast forward, and we'll see you when we're all done with this. We want to stretch this, make sure it doesn't have any weak points. And you also want to pre-stretch it too, because when we tighten this crossbow up, you don't want to have to stretch this as it's going through all the holes. And you don't want to grab this and stretch it and move fast, because it will burn you, as I just figured out. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. I think that's going to look really nice for her. Actually, I was just kind of sitting here as I'm doing this thinking, I can give this to her as I'm leaving, as I built some gift arrows for the Society of Creative Anachronism out here. Their members come in every year and have always been very, very good to us here at Stickville Archery. So I built some horn knocked arrows, pictured right here, and these have horn knocks on them. I don't know, it's kind of dark in here, but oh, the light does go through the horn. They're wrapped with silk, feather fletching, horn knocked. Oops, knocked my drink over. Cedar shafting, and I'll be putting the tips on them. So we've got a front piece, we've got a rear piece, and we've got a bottom piece. And our job is to lace these all in, and then we're going to rivet the belt loops on this. This handles a standard bolt. These bolts, I believe, are, well, by the time that these have tips on them and stuff, they're about 15.5 inches long. Now we're going to leave the top hole on both sides free. And the reason why I've done that is so you can hang things like wax or regalia or whatever off these holes, and it gives you a nice secure hole to be able to do it with. Once you build this, you can clip them off if you want. So we're going to go to the next hole down to right here. And we're going to take the top piece, we're going to go from the inside, from this, but that's okay. I think this is going to look really good. And then we're going to go to the second hole down on the back, and we're coming around and going in. And then once we get that through, we're actually going to go through the very same hole that we went through the first time, which with this lace is going to be fun, but we can make it work. Maybe. There we go. And what that's going to do is it's going to lock these two pieces together. So as we pull this, it's just going to lock them. And then we can take that knot, we can move it to the inside, and then we can just tighten that up. And that is what it's going to look like. And then from there, we're just going to stitch this. So the lace is always going to come out the top in orientation to us. So it's going to come up in orientation to us, so now we're going to go down and below and go through the next set of holes. And all the holes will line up if you've done your pattern correctly. Rough
hands carve dreams in timber, breathing life in the oak and pine. With steady heart and steady whisper, he follows the grain's old design. His dogs sit by in silent devotion, watching as the whole takes shape. Eyes on the horizon's position, adventure's about to begin the mission. Buck and bow, the world awaits, paws and oars on silvery plates, heartfelt sails on a water's gate, across lakes, rivers, seas, and fates.
And we have a visitor. Vixen, come, hop. Hey, baby boy. Can you say hi to everybody? Can you say hi to everybody? So this is Rixon, everybody. Where's Sadie? Sadie's in Texas right now. She is on the homestead, guarding the livestock and guarding the human beings out there, which are probably now her human beings, from what I understand. Sarah has corrupted Sadie. And Mr. Rixon is on the road with me. Aren't you, buddy? Aren't you? Musical boy? Pa? Oh, thank you. Well, Rixon is a Belgian Malinois. And he is fully trained. Except when we're in the shop. He gets his own mind in here. He likes that back room. And I think it's probably because it's cool. All right, on to the quiver. So we've done our last stitch on the bottom here. And we've got our bottom hole. So what we want to do, and by the way, as I was doing these, I do tighten these sides so I don't have to go back and retighten them. So now what we want to do is we want to stick this bottom in there. Now this is going to be a little hard to see on camera, but these last holes on the bottom of this quiver, this one and the one on the back of it, are going to intercept the hole on the very end of the bottom. So, keeping in mind that we've got to wrap around, so we're going to go through this bottom layer up, and then we're going to go through the bottom of the quiver, and then we're going to go through the bottom of the top. This will all make sense. If you're having problems with this, just play with it. And once you get it right, the orientation will all sit correctly. And you'll also continue that wrap. So this, see if I can get this center screen. I know the light's not really great in here, but that's the way that it looks. Now from here, we're not going to tighten each stitch as we go along the bottom. We're actually going to come back and retighten. So knowing that this is the front of the quiver, and we've got to go around to the bottom, now what we're going to do with this, we're going to start on the front of this, so we're going to stitch this. So we're going to come around bottom of the quiver, up through the top, or front. The first couple stitches are going to look a little weird, but once you get 2-3 stitches in this, it's all going to start orienting correctly. And then we're just going to do the same thing all through this row. And as you can see, this is starting to orient the right way. Now, again, I am not tightening these. I want to keep these loose because I'm going to come back and retighten them and move this leather into position so everything kind of sits visually appealing. You can almost get these stitches or these wraps almost watertight if you do your job correctly. In fact, I bet you if I were to put some wax on the lips of these and then do this, it could be watertight. But we don't want it watertight. Now, if you're using something like cowhide lacing, you want to make sure as you get that strip of lacing that you pull on it, not ultra hard, but give it a good tug and then it doesn't break, and get yourself a good section. Usually use 3 foot, because as you're stitching these, that lacing can break, and it's not, you know, it's not fatal, it's not, you know, game over, but then you got to go back and do some relacing and some gluing and things like that, which, you know, again, it's no problem. In fact, this one, we broke a lace during the live, and that's actually deer hide, but it's a lot thinner. This stuff is what I use for wrapping my bows, bow handles, and for the prods. So it's good, strong, high quality deer hide. So I can turn that off. So we're just going to get a piece of leather, and we're going to check. Ooh, that's good and hot. Oh yeah. And we're just going to, now this is the back side, and we're just going to hit the corner. There we go. So we've just come to the end of the line right here. What we're going to do is flip our work, and now we're going to go through the back side, last hole, and then we're going to come up through the bottom. If that, hopefully that shows in camera. So last hole, up through, down through, last hole, down through bottom. Just like that. And then now we can carry on to the other side. Now we're going to do this next stitch. Just like that. Now, before I go any further, I'm going to come back and start tightening this up. So what I'm going to do is just basically grab a piece of lacing here at the back. And I'm going to start taking any slack that I can out of it. And this is not going to transpose to camera very well, but all I'm doing is just starting to take the slack out and start to tighten up these stitches. And the way that this is going together is the bottom and then this piece of leather are basically just sitting together like that. So as I start getting slack, now it starts showing up really well. And then the way I'm going to finish this off is, one, I want to make sure that corner isn't going to leak a bolt. So I'm just going to go ahead and put this through something, any hole on that corner that I can get through, just like that. Tighten it. My corners aren't going to leak. And then I'm just going to tie a knot so that leather can't go back up through that punch hole. And get it nice and flush, just like that, and then snip it right at the base of that knot. Down, dirty, simple. Now on this last one, we're going to want to lock it. So we go through as normal, and then we're just going to go through again as normal. That's going to give us a locking stitch. We're on the back, so we can make our knot. Just like that. And just like that, we lost audio, guys. This camera had run out of battery. I went on for about another 5-10 minutes finishing the quiver up, and my other camera doesn't record audio, so really appreciate you watching this video. Hopefully you learned something on how to put one of these together. These are great to hang off your belt loop. Now we got bolts, we got the crossbow, we're gonna shoot it. Guys, there is a video coming up of shooting the crossbow, stretching its legs out to 40, 50, 60 yards, and we are moving on to the double recurve Rebellion. Guys, this is a phenomenal bow. Here in a second, I'm going to show you where I hit the back of a screwdriver and stuck the arrow into the screwdriver. during live feed last night. It was kind of cool. And yeah, here in a couple weeks, we're going to be in Texas, which means I'm going to be starting the boat build and the homesteading. Guys, in the future, we are going to end up putting a couple of our coon hogs down. We do raise meat on the homestead. And of course, we also have the vegetable gardens, canning, freeze drying, that type of stuff. So there's going to be a lot of work to do when I get back. Hopefully you guys don't mind the shifting of the gears, and of course the boat, guys. 13-foot backwater boat, we'll be putting it together. You're going to end up seeing how it's all done, and then we're going to take it out for catch, cook, cleans, overnights on the sandbar. The Malawas will be joining me, Sadie and Rickson. We're going to have a lot of good time this summer, so hopefully you're sticking around. If you haven't subscribed, consider hitting that subscribe, guys. Even if you're not going to subscribe, hit that thumbs up on your way out. Help these videos get out there. You're helping me, and hopefully I'm entertaining you. We'll see you next time.
Overnight on the sandbar, water lapping.
I don't think you can make this stuff up. I do not think you can make that up.
Every star a hidden tree.
So, yeah, that was shocking.
Stones
It's about 25, 27 feet, somewhere in there.
Secret stories in the night air. Shadows join our summer games. We chase the stars with laughter.
That is funny. Rickson, I have definitely got to start teaching you how to build leather. What do you think?